Hello everyone, and welcome on the very first video of a series dedicated to reviewing vehicles in War Thunder and help new players understand better how to use said vehicles. I am Tiger AI, though most people call me Tiger Eye, but you can just call me Tiger. I recently reached level 100 in the game and played thousands of battles throughout thousands of hours of playtime. And I have decided to make this series to help new players and veterans understand their tanks better and how to improve in the game. I shall start with the Japanese ground forces. Today we shall take a look at the Type 89B Aigoko. Let's simply call it the Aigoko. The Aigoko is a reserve Japanese tank, sitting at a battle rating of 1.0. It was introduced in the update 1.65 Way of the Samurai, when the Japanese ground forces were introduced in the game. It is equipped with a 57mm Type 90 cannon and a 6.5mm Type 91 machine gun. Let's talk about its armament. The 57mm cannon is quite weak. The Aigoko starts with all of its shells already unlocked. The 57mm cannon, while sporting an impressive 3.7 seconds reload time, faster than most modern tanks with autoloaders, is quite imprecise. Furthermore, it has quite a low velocity, making it unsuitable for long-range engagement. The cannon has two available shells, the Type 92 APHE rounds, with 103 grams of explosive filler, and a velocity of 349 meters per second, with a penetration of 21mm at 100 meters, and the Type 3 hit round, with 303 grams of explosive filler, a velocity of 380 meters per second, and a penetration of 55mm at all distances. While the APHE round has quite an impressive amount of explosive filler for a round at a battle rating of 1.0, especially for a 57mm round, its lack of penetration is crippling. You won't be able to pierce any tanks from the front this round, and many tanks will be able to bounce this shell even if you shoot them to the side. I would advise you to not use this round at all if you try to be effective with this tank, as its other shell is far more effective if you wish to get kills. Then use the hit round. The hit round, on the other hand, will be the main shell you will be using. While it isn't the best round available at this battle rating, the Sweden and APDS round at 1.0, it is still enough to pierce most tanks from the front. Unlike hit rounds on other tanks such as Stug 3 Aus A, it will still be easily able to bounce or get absorbed by the armor of your enemies, so you need to aim for weak spots. Furthermore, as those are early hit rounds, they have really bad post-penetration damages. As such, you need to aim for specific spots on the enemy tank, such as the gunner, to stop the enemy from firing at you, the driver, to immobilize the enemy tank, the engine, to set the enemy tank on fire and immobilize it, or even better, the ammunition rack, to kill the enemy in a single shot. The round is still able to overpressure open top vehicles, making it really useful against any SPAAGs or SPGs that you will meet at this battle rating, such as the Panzerjäger 2, the SU-5, or the Gaz AAA, or the Flak Panzer 1. Now, for the survivability of the vehicle. I won't lie to you, it's really bad. First, the armor. With 17mm of armor on all sides for the hull and for the front of the turret, you are an easy target. Every .50 caliber guns and larger will pierce you, making tanks with HMGs and autocannons the main threat to your tank. The layout of the vehicle isn't really good either. As you can see, all of the crew of the tank is in the same spot. As such, any tanks with APHC aiming at the upper hull will kill you in a single shot, or two if they struggle to aim properly. Ideally, you would want to bring only 49 rounds out of the 100 available to empty 3 ammo racks. That way you will reduce the chances of dying in a single shot, as you will be less likely to get your ammo to detonate. This tank is not very maneuverable either. While it has a decent acceleration and speed for a tank at this battle rating, it isn't as maneuverable as a Stuart or a Panzer II. Furthermore, its speed is lacking compared to other light tanks such as the BT-5 or BT-7. This tank is easily spottable as well. As you can see, it is a very tall tank for this BR. Furthermore, it's a brick. No, seriously, look at this. It has the same color as a goddamn brick. You need to avoid getting hit with this tank. The only saving grace for this tank is that you are fighting new players with it. They don't know how to play the game, which will help you survive far longer than you should if you were to get shot at. The Type 89B Aigoko, despite its rather tractor-esque look, is a mobile tank that could use its speed to get to an enemy's flank and cause some serious damage. The 57mm cannon is unfortunately rather pitiful even in rank 1, with a penetration value of 21mm with APHC rounds at standard combat ranges. Therefore, it is usually best to catch enemies unaware and go for flanking shots against their weaker side armor by driving around, instead of directly towards them. The 57mm low-velocity shell does have an advantage of a rather prominent parabolic trajectory, so it is possible to lob shells over hills to hit unsuspecting enemies behind it. The gun's poor penetration will change when using the high-explosive anti-tank shell, the heat shell. This shell has 55mm of penetration at any range, but still has considerable drop-off due to the low velocity of the gun. It's a good enough anti-everything shell that can penetrate most targets you will meet, especially those pesky French tanks, which tends to be quite well armored for this battle rating. The Type 3 heat shell fortunately has just enough penetration to get through them, although it is generally recommended to try to aim for weak spots, and be prepared for the shell to not penetrate your target. This shell will also most likely destroy any truck or open-top vehicle with a good hit, as it has the capability of overpressure. Pretty much everything is a trait to this vehicle due to its mediocre mobility and poor armor. Fast vehicles like the M2A4, BT5, A13 Mark I and AMD-35 in particular are a difficult encounter. The Aigoko is reasonably fast at close quarters, but not that fast. The tank's sluggish traverse speed makes tracking a close target difficult at long range. The slow shells are difficult to aim precisely at a moving target. The 45mm 20K gun that the commonly encountered BT series have can easily destroy you at any range with a single shot. Vehicles with autocannons and heavy machine guns like the M2A2, Gaz AAA, Dushka, Panzer IIc and T60 are the Aigoko's worst nightmare. They have high volume of fire and good mobility coupled with the Aigoko's lack of a coaxial or pintle-mounted MG puts the Aigoko at a large disadvantage. SPAAs generally should be considered by the Aigoko to be just as deadly, if not more so, than conventional tanks. One more vehicle type to worry about is aircraft. Due to the tank's roof being thin, aircraft with anything more than a heavy machine gun will be able to penetrate the Aigoko. For example, the 12.7mm armed P-26 and F3F2 and the 20 20mm armed HE-112AO and D-500 will shred through the Igoko's roof, killing the entire crew. To conclude, I wouldn't recommend using the Igoko as a new player. While it is one of the two reserve vehicles you'll get when you start playing the Japanese Ground Tree, it is a below average tank for that battle rating that can be replaced by better tanks, as we'll see next time. Thank you all for watching this video. If you liked it and have anything to say to me, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, comment down below and share the video with your friends. Thank you everyone, and I will see you next time.